It's Elisa Gomez-Taylor. I hope you're having an awesome day. I'm the CEO of E-Star Entertainment Productions. I'm a published author of Chill Room Havana Poetry Book. And as you may know, I'm a music artist, singer, and songwriter. And I want to thank you just for coming back for tip 2 on blending your creative passion with your business goals. So what you want to do is set clear goals and make sure that they are achievable, breaking them down. Okay, so what I did was, my goal was to publish my first poetry book, okay, Chill Room Havana. So what I did was I gathered all of my stories, and I had a lot of them. So in my book, I have about 63 short rhythmic poetic stories, and that means they have rhythm to them and they rhyme and so forth. And it's about life, family, faith, wicked admirers, oh my, ancient history, travels, and some sweet love. A lot of these stories are very relatable or just interesting experiences. So I'm gonna break down my objectives, how I did this. So what I did, I located all of my poems. I just kept them from many years ago and also recent writings. And what I did was I kept writing early last year because I had some more stories to tell, right? Okay, and then I just made a commitment on a daily basis. I was writing anywhere between 2 to 6 hours a day, putting time into it. And a lot of it's not only writing, but also rewriting, because I had a lot of stories and some of them need to be just polished up a little bit. And then what I did was I made an appointment with myself. EGT, yeah, that's me, Elisa Gomez-Taylor, yeah. I made an appointment to sit down every single day, if I could, and just put in those hours of writing and rewriting. And I would take a couple of days off just to refresh my mind and relax, okay? And then when I come back to it, I would review the poems again, and because they're all very unique, and I've just started rewriting again, and then also editing, which is something that I do as a professional writer. So I reviewed each one until I was satisfied with each one on how it felt in the rhythm, in the messaging, and also with the reader in mind, because again, I want it to be relatable and fun to read. So in my editing, I check my grammar and spelling, of course, and there's spell check that you can use. But that's just the writer in me as I go along. What was also helpful, I joined a few poetry groups online, and they would allow you to share your poetry. So I would share parts of my poetry. And it was really cool because the group would give you their feedback and your comments. And it's interesting to get their perspective on how, what they think about your poem. So that was really good, and I enjoyed it. So another thing is, it's also good to start researching publishing companies, and you can also check with Amazon Kindle, and they have a lot of information about publishing. At least just start reading about it, because that should be your first end goal. Is you write your poetry book with the intention of publishing it, right? Another thing you can do is, if you have friends that have written books, talk to them and ask them, what was your process? What did you do? How did you break down your time? Because everybody's time frame is very different. And then you can also go to book fairs, book festivals, and you'll see a lot of authors there. And they will be happy to talk to you about, their process and, what they did. And what's fascinating is also all the marketing materials they have set out, to promote their book. So I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Just give you a quick recap. You get your goal together that you want to complete your book, okay? And you may say, I want to complete it in 2 months. I want to complete it in 6 months. Write that goal down. You want to break it down into small bites. It's really good to join a poetry group. That way you can meet other poets and get inspired, and you can do collaborations with them, which is great. How do you find them? You go to Google and you put in poets meetup or poetry groups, and you'll find a lot of them. Okay. Then you want to commit. Let's say you have a few poems, but maybe you want to commit to doing 20 poems. And It could be about life, it could be about family, legacy stories about your family. That's something that's really uplifting that you always want to go back to and read, and also share with your family. Stories that they didn't even know about that you put in poetic form, right? And you want to block off time, but we'll talk about that in the next lesson on how you block off time to do this because you have a very busy schedule, right? Okay, we can do that. And then start looking for publishing opportunities. So I just want to thank you again. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, or writer, and you're working on a project and you need inspiration, you need to get some help to get leveled up to the next part of success, join my Facebook community. It is eStar Cafe Books and More on Facebook. And I have some free information for you. If you just click on the banner and go to the site, eStarByElisaGomezTaylor.com, click on there and you can download a book, Building Income as a Writer. And it has some great tips in there. So go ahead and check that out. It's free. And I'll be offering some more free tips for you every week, all right? To blend your creative passion with your business goals. I am Elisa Gomez Taylor. Tune in for easy tips to level up your success. Thank you and have a beautiful day. Ciao.